Mic check 1 2 1 2. Randy coming live, and I'm back to you. Blunt Talk Podcast on the mic. You better be ready, and you better not fright. Period. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Blunt Talk Podcast. And here we are at episode 11. Episode 11. How y'all doing today? If this is out on time, it is Friday for y'all. It is Thursday for me. We are literally at the end of the week. How are y'all doing? Did y'all have a good week? Was tea? Are y'all enjoying this episode? I mean, not this episode. Are y'all enjoying the weather? All I know is Gemini season started and the world was like summertime. Okay, like it didn't even give me no time to creep into summer. It immediately just got hot as shit. And I don't even have my A season. Like, what the freak? Like, I'm living off of fans here. And on top, I'm gonna just put y'all in my business. We're family. It's that time of the month for me. So, on top of it being hot as shit outside, I'm personally a fucking human furnace and I'm going through menopause. That's all I got. Like, it's too hot. It's too hot. Like, huh? This weather got one more again to turn up like this, and I guarantee you my ACs will be in by tomorrow, and I'm not even playing. So, before I dive into the episode, let me just say hey to my audio listeners. How are y'all doing? Thank you so much for rocking with me. You know I love y'all. And to my visual YouTube family, hey y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with your girl. Back again with another episode. I hope you guys are loving everything that I have to offer you so far. We're not even at the peak yet. Don't forget, we got our first ever Blunt Talk podcast interview coming possibly in the second or third week of June. Ooh. Did y'all hear me? We have the first ever Blunt Talk podcast interview coming in the second or third week of June. Little Miss Solo Dolo is now going to be a group, period. Also, do not forget to shop thatsrare.com and get your Blunt Talk podcast merch. We have shirts, crop tops, shorts, hoodies, and also we have um backpacks. And I know y'all probably like, what the fuck? A hoodie? It's hot outside. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna be hot forever. And on top of that, y'all act like y'all don't go on dates or nothing, mix and mingle or nothing. You might want to just pack the Blunt Talk podcast hoodie when it gets a little bit too cold in the area or the day that you're going on. Don't forget when you visit thatsrare.com and you shop the Blunt Talk podcast selection to include at the end in your cart the Blunt Talk 24 discount code and save you a nice whopping 20% off. You know why? Because here at Blunt Talk Podcast, I save my family money and coins always. Okay. And also, once you get your merch, don't forget to take a picture, send it to me so I can include you to my story to let y'all know that I see you, I love you, and I appreciate you. All right. So without further ado, let's cut the shit and let's get into episode 11 bars. So think about this like episode 7, 7-11. No rhyme or reason. I just want to come chop it up with y'all and fill y'all in. Last week on episode 10, I told you guys that I was going to go see Don't Call Me White Girl live. Okay. So I'm going to take you on a trip and I'm going to let y'all know how that went because I wanted to keep y'all up to date because I know y'all sitting at home wondering for the last week what the fuck went on and if it was worth it. And I'm here to report. So, on Friday, May 17th, I drove to Brooklyn, New York, which was about the night before. Miss Siri lied and said 2 hours and 48 minutes. The day of, it took me like 3 hours and 30 minutes to get there. Talk about death. So the drive there was good. Besides me leaving my house at 2:45 and it saying I was gonna get there by 6:19, I literally got there for like 7:10. I didn't miss my big cousin Mona. I missed a little bit of the opener, which was a bummer. I really wanted to get the whole entire experience. What I will say was Shorty didn't eat all day because I was super anxious. Like I bought the meet and greet ticket, so I knew at one point I was gonna get very close to Mona, and I just couldn't. Like my brain was like, ooh. So didn't eat all day. I'm thinking because I bought meet and greet tickets, there was gonna be food at the venue, and there wasn't. And then when I went, the line was all the way to the back for a fucking drinky drink, and I was like, "Fuck that shit! I ain't doing that." Like, if I would have knew and planned out better, I would have had the bottles popping in my purse, and I would have had to split on site. I digress. So went in, so boom, traveled by myself. When I pulled up to the spot, I seen one of my little virtual cousins out there. And I spotted her. She's so beautiful. If you're watching this, hey Buki, you're beautiful. And I told you this. So spotted her because she's just so gorgeous. Seen her, was like, oh my God, that's her. But I didn't want to talk because again, I'm by myself. Weird, introvert, sometimes extrovert. I don't know. So seeing her as I'm walking up, she's like, hey, are you Randi? Instantly was like, yes, someone sees me, someone noticed me, someone, oh my God, someone's here. So we were hanging out the whole show, and it that made me feel good within itself. Like, at this big age, it's very hard to create friends in a way. Like, I'm a bubbly person. Don't get it twisted. How I am on this mic is how I am in real life, but it's still in the moment very, very shaky. You never know people's energies. You never know if people fuck with you, how you fuck with them. Like, it just was giving, I don't know. But we were very much so in sync. We didn't want to sit. I feel like we didn't want to sit where everybody else was. We wanted some space, so we went up to the top. We were chopping it up. We were very interactive with each other, and it was super cute, super dope vibes. She does press-ons. I'll be sure to include her name as well. If you are a press-on girly, please link with the sis and get your press-ons. Hers are amazing, and also the price is going up, babes. Mona's on TikTok live watching her nails as we speak, or wearing her nails as we speak. So price going up. But yeah. So at first, remember how I told y'all, I think it was back at episode 7. Yeah, I think it was back in episode 7, all things entertainment, where I told y'all that I was sort of kind of discouraged because I tried to win the contest to open up for Mona and I didn't get it. Okay, so the uh, the the person that the opener who won it was the drill fairy, an amazing, love the energy, great vibes. She opened, so I was able to catch some of the show. And what I will say was, again, at first when I got the news that I lost, super discouraged, was like, oh my God, I'm about to never podcast again type shit. When I went there, I was happy. And it was so weird, right? I was happy because I love the art behind podcasting. I love it. I'm a student and I love this craft. So instead of being upset and sour and a bitter puss, I sat back and I got to literally study. I talk to you guys, right? I chop it up with you guys. I don't think, first of all, let me not underestimate myself. I would have annihilated the show. I would have stomped the fucking stage through the roof. Okay. I know I would have did a good job, but I feel like because I never did a live show before, I feel like I need to do a little bit more studying on the live show aspect. So it was great to sit here and watch the person that won. It was great to watch them because I was able to not only be a student but able to basically do some more research and study so that when I do get the opportunity, because I know I will get the opportunity to, I can make sure that it is flawless. Like I make sure that I have the perfect set. Um, so it was nice to sit there and, study and see how people interact with the crowd and just, get the vibe of how a live podcast was. Again, this is my first time at a live podcast. So I didn't know what to expect. So then Big Mama Mona come out. She rocked the fucking stage with Phelps and Tom. And it was just such a vibe. Drum roll. Now comes the meet and greet. So I bought to the show some merch and some weed for Mona. And when I walked up there, I was super scared because she put a little jokey joke, a little fast one. But then after she was just kidding per usual. She's so silly. And she literally was like, you're so beautiful. Da, 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 da. Took a couple pictures. I'll put them up here. Took a group picture with my Discord family. It was a dream come true. Great vibes, fun times, chopped it up with everybody. It wasn't like we were in the presence of a celebrity. We were rocking out with our cocks out with our cousin, having a vibe, not being scared, not doing no weird one. Like, it was a vibe. 10 out of 10. Definitely gonna go again. Hopefully she has a show soon or in the future, another comedy show, what have you. But I'm buying my tickets. Mona, you got a fan for life. Like, one of the best experiences ever with someone who was quote unquote famous. Um, so I wanted to like dive into this really quickly. As y'all heard, I went to the show solo. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Write your answers in the comments. How do y'all feel about solo dates? Um, I personally love solo dates. The first time I ever went on a solo date was when I was like 21. I waited for me to be able to drink so that I went out on a solo date. But at that time when I went to the solo date, I liked it. At first, I was very much so same kind of deal. Oh my God, people are gonna think I'm weird. I'm out here by myself. What the fuck? Who goes on dates by themselves? And I had to sit there and self reflect. And the self reflection, when I was staring at myself in the mirror, and myself was looking back. Myself said, "Self." Self said, "Hmm." I said, "Why are you so uncomfortable with sitting in solitude by yourself and dating yourself? And if you don't like to date yourself, how can you expect someone to want to date you?" Don't worry, y'all. I know I said a bar or two. It's just me at Blunt Talk Podcast. So when I was going through that self-reflection moment, I literally was like, one, there's nothing wrong with going on dates by yourself. Two, if I can't date myself, how can I expect someone to know, want, or desire to date me? I don't even know what I like for real. We girls scream so bad. If a man wants to go on a date with me, he needs to have A, B, C, and D planned out and also have my hair, toenail done. Da, 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 da. Now, I'm not talking shit about the girls that have those requirements. It was a little jokey joke. But that was to go and show, like, all right, cool. Let's say so and so wants to take you on a date and they want to expand your taste palette, but you never experienced it for yourself, or you never thought to take yourself somewhere to expand your taste palette. So how would you expect, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would you expect? And also, if you never dated yourself, do you even know yourself? The question that I always ask ourselves, or I ask y'all, um, is like, do you know yourself? Like, you have all these requirements to date. You want people to check these boxes off to date you. Do you know who you really are? And do you check off the boxes for yourself? Right? So when I went on that date by myself, it was very liberating. I had a lot of fun. It wasn't weird because when you have a natural dope ass energy, don't mean to toot my own horn, but when you have a natural dope energy, people just flock to you and you're able to have conversations and you're able to literally just like rock out with your cock out and have an amazing time. And what I will say, the food was amazing, the drinks was amazing. I was very happy. I didn't feel pressured, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm very much so a people pleaser. So when I go on dates with people, I want them to like it. I want them to like the food, the atmosphere, where we are. Fuck it. I want you to even like the drive there. Did you like the music I played? Very much so a people pleaser. So it was nice to just literally be selfish and think about myself. And that goes to the live podcast show. I was so scared to drive there. Didn't eat the day before. Didn't eat the day of. Was cleaning my house. Very very anxious like behavior. And then when I got there, it was so amazing. Now the difference between then and now is that I'm a mom, and so I don't have as much alone time as I would like to. But it's still the simple fact of I was able to go out of town by myself and have a vibe and have a good time and not feel dependent upon anyone to have fun. And I feel like people nowadays are so dependent on people to have fun that you are looked at funny if you don't. Um, if you stand out and you do things by yourself. One thing that I want my Blunt Talk podcast family to do is date yourself. Fuck it. You want to go somewhere, but your friends don't want to go anywhere. Don't miss out on plans because your friends don't want to go. Don't miss out on plans because your significant other doesn't want to go. We have to remain and we have to remain and maintain our individuality. So we have to remain individuals and we have to maintain our individuality. We can't get a friend group. We can't get in a relationship and completely forget about what makes us happy and stop doing things that we stopped doing. We cannot get into a relationship and stop doing the things that we like for the sake of our significant other not liking to do those same things. I understand that when you're in a relationship, and trust me, I fall victim to this as well. When you're in a relationship, you tend to really want to share these moments with your significant other. And it didn't take until I was told, your definition of fun or things that you like to do is not my definition of fun and things that I want to do. So you can't get mad at me if I don't want to do it. And I think that right there opened up my eyes to say, Randy, stop wanting to experience all these cool experiences or all the things that you find cool. Stop waiting around for people to experience these things with you. You're 29, about to be 30. Life is too old to have it on pause and wait. So I decided to put my big girl bitches on and just start experiencing life by myself. So be prepared for more stories of solo dolo trips and things. I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop and let y'all know of fun things to do. And I want y'all to start tapping in and start dating yourself. I don't want y'all to think that I'm a lonely bitch and I want to bring y'all on the lonely bitch journey with me. But if y'all perceive like that, I am far from lonely, honey. I'm just, I'm just a girl trying to enjoy life. Period. So the final thing that I was going to talk about, and I truthfully, honestly wasn't even going to talk about this, but I feel like because it is all over social media right now, it's only right that I talk about this. But I'm going to talk about it briefly because I don't want to offend anybody or I don't want to trigger any of my Blunt Talk podcast family. I know we have all been through some things in life. So I'm just going to dive into it. Um, this week on the social media segment, we're just gonna breeze through P. Diddy's situation. I'm just gonna speak my thoughts on it and feel free to comment. What I need y'all to do, period, is like, comment, and subscribe. But be sure to extra comment to be involved in the conversation. And yes, I do comment. So, as y'all know, Diddy's domestic violence video came out and shocked the fucking world. That came out May 17th. As I was driving to New York to be exact. It was dropped on Instagram. And when I seen it, I didn't want to believe it. I grew up in an era where very much so bad boy era. Yeah, we hear about him not paying his artists. We hear about him being gay. We hear about him being low key crazy. He's a fucking Scorpio. I don't know why we're surprised. Scorpios are fucking nuts. Um, But we hear about all these things, but we didn't see them. So then this video surfaces the internet and boom, it's in my face. And I'm like, ooh, what the fuck? Very, very, very gross. I wasn't expecting to see that. Um, I don't understand why he would place his hands on her again when she's already on the ground, balled up. That sort of kind of I don't understand, but I will never understand abusers. Um, I have been in a DV situation before. In that situation, like, watching that video didn't trigger me. I know I'm different. It just made me sad. Like, I'm not finna hold you. I looked at her Instagram after that and just to see how she was looking because we'll never know how someone is feeling off of social media, but we could see how they look. And it just made me sad. It made me sad to think about such a beautiful female, despite even looks. It just bothered me that another female experienced that. And I couldn't imagine her thought process And I couldn't imagine how dark that time could have been. And so much time was spent with this person. I can't imagine how she felt. And it makes me sad. Just scrolling and watching and, looking at pictures of her and her husband and, seeing pictures of her and her daughters, it just brought me to tears because nobody in this world, not even men in this world deserve to be abused by someone that is supposed to be our safe place and someone that we really love. And so didn't sit right with me. And it definitely hurts my feelings that the older I get, the more and more people that you think are not monsters in the industry are monsters in the industry. And it's hard to believe that your favorite artist or your favorite producer or just this mega person could do that. And I think what also scares me, this is what scares me. When it comes to men and domestic violence, I am not overlooking the men who don't have children, but to the men who do have children, especially young daughters, how the fuck? I was trying not to cuss this much in this episode, but that's literally all that I could say. What the fuck? How can you put your hands on someone else's daughter and then go turn around and hug yours? That's not scary. Don't you guys remember the saying that our grandparents used to say, you typically fall in love or your daughter's going to fall in love with the person that reminds them of their dad so much? That doesn't scare y'all into like maybe I should get my shit together and not pop bitches in their face? Like, I don't know. If that like if you having children or a child or a daughter or just little people looking up to you and idolizing you, if you have children and that doesn't stop you, you a scary motherfucker. And I want you to know, and I don't wish this on nobody, but I really truthfully want y'all to know that karma don't just come back to you, baby. It can come back to the people that you love tenfold down. So the fact that y'all just be out here willy-nilly beating bitches up, it's very scary. And I hope your daughter don't come into no nigga like you. I promise you, because then you cannot be contradictory. You cannot be contradicting yourself and trying to school homeboy when you used to put the mom through the wall too. Like, please, let's just be for real. But aside, so that fucked me up because, sir, you have daughters. Like, you have daughters and you have daughters who are in this industry. Okay. Like, who knows what the fuck they're gonna run into? God forbid they run into anything like that. You just never know. It seems like everybody in the industry is fucking nuts. God damn. Aside from that, there's also young men that he's raising. And how are they looking at this? Like, are they okay? Like to to see your superhero be brought down in front of you on social media where it's plastered and people can comment and people are now probably running to their comments because people are fucking crazy. Don't give a fuck about what children have to like. Don't give a fuck and can't differentiate the parent from the child. So I just couldn't imagine what they're going through and what they're feeling. And I just literally hope they're okay. Like, I just hope they're okay. I just really truthfully hope they're okay because this is a crazy situation. And then we're gonna just speed pass over the speed bump. The sorry video, the apology was like more so of a I'm sorry y'all niggas caught me because I just said a month ago the lies will be revealed. But then it's very weird because how can you say the lies will be revealed when the lawsuit came out and you paid out? If something is not true, you're not going to pay out. Food for thought. So it has just always been very, very, very weird for me. Um, I don't like it. it's actually very crazy. When Mona brought this up at the live podcast, I felt so bad because the whole drive there, I was listening to the Love album. If you guys love good music, okay, this is gonna be crazy. Like, I'm not promoting his music, but I am, so please don't judge me. I was listening to the whole Love album. Diddy's new album that he dropped was fucking amazing. No skips, no skips, no skips, no skips, no skips, no skips, no skips. And then for it to be no skips, and I'm just over here Diddy bopping all the way to New York, and then I hear about the video, and then I see the video when I get in the car. I was like, I just put 0.00079 cents in your pocket. Fuck. Golly. Shit. Can I unstream it? No, I'm joking. Um, so yeah, I just don't like the apology. I feel like he should have a publicist and maybe something written should have been put out versus that fucking I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. I don't know. What I do want to say is I'm gonna put you on my business a little bit again. It's gonna get a little dark, but don't be too dark because I moved past it. I will say from my personal experiences in situations like that, the watching that video didn't trigger me. It just made me sad. It made me sad because you never know what someone is going through and you never know what someone's thought processes are in that moment. I'm so blessed that my situation was not that extreme. However, it should not happen. It still did happen. And it gives me hope looking at where she is putting out that she is. It gives me hope that maybe one day everyone will be there. I know the statistics for DV are crazy, and rest in peace to everyone that we lost to domestic violence, to all my people that are going through that right now, to all my survivors. It will get better. We will get better. And to not give up and to know that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And to anybody that has ever abused, was it worth it? Was it worth stripping someone naked and bare and making them so vulnerable that even though you are unsafe, to them you still are safe? Was it worth it? Well, y'all, I know that's a hell of a way to end the episode, but that's all I got for y'all on episode 11. Don't forget to shop that swear and get the Blunt Talk podcast merch. We do have some new merch on the way. Because it is big Gemini season, I'm going to be dropping a limited edition merch. Now, is it going to be in time for when Gemini season ends or in Gemini season? I don't know. Just know limited edition Blunt Talk podcast merch is on the way and you don't want to fucking miss it. Those will be in hand in person though. So if you are in the Springfield area, don't worry, I got you. Shoot me a DM, shoot me your size. You can get it. If you are one of my not virtual, if you're one of my audio listeners, DM me at underscore blunt talk podcast. You can get the limited edition merch as well. And for my YouTube family, you already know what the fuck to do. Comment below or DM me at underscore blunt talk podcast to get the limited edition merch. Um, Another thing I want to talk about is don't forget. I think I already said this in the beginning, but fuck it, we gonna say it again. Don't forget the first annual interview here at Blunt Talk Podcast is gonna be dropping in the second or third week of June. So sit tight. That one is going to be fun. You are not gonna want to miss it. And if you know anybody in the area who's a creative and that would love to hop on Blunt Talk Podcast, share their name below or DM me at underscore Blunt Talk Podcast and let me know what's up. I would love to interview everybody. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a ball, of course. I can't wait for y'all to see the new content coming up, the new things I have. Of course, there's always updates in process. We ain't never done working over here. Y'all deserve the best. I deserve the best. We finna get the best. Period. Um, but yeah. I love you guys. And I'll talk to you next week. on episode 12. On episode 12. Let me stop playing. I'm always playing with y'all. But yeah, I'll see y'all next week on episode 12. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Okay. Don't forget, if you have any topics you would love for me to chop it up about, send those to _blunt talk podcast. Randy's out.